Okay, very good. Good morning. We're live on the air. Hello there. My name is Nathan Foy, and we'll be talking about all the cyclones that are active at this present time. There are plenty of them. Of course, two storms affecting either coast of Australia right now, Cyclones Olwyn and Cyclone Nathan. We also have Cyclone Pam, of course, still a Category 4 storm in the South Pacific Ocean, likely to affect Vanuatu as a very strong storm indeed. We also have several other people here with us this morning. We have Andrew, who is doing all sorts of things on his screen share right now, which I will not show. Jean, which is here right now as well. He's over in Mauritius at this time. And we also have Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
Good morning. It wasn't too much to ask for you to get up so early, right?
Or evening, wherever you are.
Yeah, and Jason as well, who is in Western Australia, near Perth, right? Am I right?
Yeah, in the hills of Perth.
Okay, good. I don't know the geography of the area, so you might have to help me out there. Who is hopefully expecting to see the remnants at least, or maybe even still as a tropical entity or tropical storm identity of Cyclone Olwyn in the next few days. So there we have it. Of course, the updates will be rolling in during our broadcast as well, hopefully, because at around this time we will be expecting the 6 Zulu updates coming in on the intensity of all the storms, and we'll also, of course, be looking at all the satellite imagery and taking a look, seeing what's going on, which we will do very shortly indeed. And of course, our friends here will also hopefully be doing some screen sharing, so we can actually see what's going on. You can also join in with us by commenting on the chat feature right now next to this video, or indeed through one of our other mediums by sending us a tweet or a Facebook message if you so wish. Or, of course, you can add me on Skype, add Fool13 to do that. You can also join our chat room and discuss tropics with fellow storm trackers. I'm just distracted by something else, and I think everyone in this hangout knows what. Okay. Has your face stopped, Wayne? Oh, it's moving now again. Having a nice early morning drink there. Okay, good. I'm now supposed to get my screen share up, but I can't find it at the moment. Oh, here we are. And then we will show you all the satellite images of all the storms, and of course all the warnings that are in effect, because there are plenty of those as well. There are warnings in effect for parts of Western Australia and of course Queensland. And also Vanuatu at this time as well, even in the Western Pacific, which we've neglected to mention so far, where we have Tropical Storm Bavi, which is located there, hasn't intensified so much just yet, but we'll get onto that in just a moment. Here we are. There's also a satellite imagery shown by Jason's screen of the current situation in the South Pacific, Southern Hemisphere. How long have you been tracking storms out of interest, Jason?
I haven't tracked many storms.
You could have fooled me.
Not recently.
But
I do remember quite a few.
Okay, the reason why I ask is because do you ever remember such an event occurring where we've got so many storms in, I suppose, a small area in the Australian region and the South Pacific and also the West Pacific too?
No, I don't remember having this much activity here.
Considering, I suppose it's all come at once because it's been a quiet season over there. But let's run through all the storms that we have active right now. Cyclone Carrie, if it's still with us, I'm not entirely sure if it is, but last we knew it was a 40-mile-per-hour subtropical storm. I don't know whether any later information shows it is now dissipated, but I mean it looks like it is. It was already in the act of dissipating last night.
The marine.
Oh, let's see.
Sorry. the marine in Brazil has it as a depression now, a subtropical depression.
Ah, I see. I think we might have a slight delay
So it
with
looks like it's been
with
weakening.
your audio there, Jason, because I wasn't actually interrupting you.
Oh, okay.
But there's the subtropical storm as it is now. Carrie was its name, and it is now weakened. Where's the air pressure then? 998, I think, is that at the centre? So that's Carrie. We also have Cyclone Pam, still with 130 mile per hour winds. In a very short while, we'll check to see whether there's an update on that. But there it is at our last image. That was actually last night. I don't know whether there's a new image available. Cyclone Nathan, has that gone down to, yes, as of 6 o'clock, Nathan has weakened to 50 miles per hour. It was 65, wasn't it? That's quite a weakening trend. If that's true. Oh no, that was yesterday. Yeah, that would explain it, wouldn't it? There's been no satellite imagery since. What's going on? No such problem with Olwen. 70 miles per hour at this time. And that's going to make landfall in Western Australia probably in the next 12 hours, I would imagine. And we'll get the Bureau of Meteorology map to confirm that. And Cyclone Bavy, which we'll get the infrared imagery on that to show the latest image on that storm, since you can't see that most clearly. That's near the Marshall Islands. The bulk of the storm is now very near Cosray, really, in Micronesia, and getting towards Pompeii as well. So that is Cyclone Tropical Storm Barbie in the Western Pacific. I just had a little break there in case anyone else wanted to say something. Here's some satellite imagery of the current situation from Jean's screen in the South Indian Ocean, but there's not much going on by the looks of things. And apparently I've been given some food here. It's nice. Pardon me. Sorry guys, I gotta eat because it's toast. It's gotta stay warm.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for it, you know.
I had to make my own.
But I think Jason just had a map up there, but it must be a problem with you only, Jason, because I can never see it on my screen, but I think it does work. So could you talk us through what we're looking at?
So this is the water vapor for the southern hemisphere, the western hemisphere. Owen in the middle.
Oh, we're losing you there quite badly.
Right, and at the top we have the centre of Australia as well.
Okay. And oh yes, I must get those tracking maps up there now. Yes, I can see that image once more. What do you think of Pam's eye?
Pam's eye?
Yeah, Pam's eye.
Well, from what I can see on Google Maps.
Pretty striking.
Compared to earlier, I think so. Okay, let's take a look at the track map and the warning. Cyclone Orwin's a Category 2 storm on the Australian scale. Warnings are in effect from Wim Creek to near Denham. Can't remember. Overlander was the place, wasn't it? And we also have cyclone watches in effect from Overlander southwards towards Durand Bay. On the other side of the country, of course, we have Cyclone Nathan, which is a Category 2 on the Australian wind scale. Warnings in effect now from Port Douglas all the way to Lockhart River. What do you think about that, Michael?
Not much.
I don't lose my voice.
I can't really find any new information because it's quite soon after the previous update, isn't
Well,
it?
here is some late information. Cyclone Pam is stronger, 140 miles per hour at 6 a.m. UTC. That's breaking news.
Mm. Is it a category 5 yet?
No, still
No.
category 4.
Yeah. Do you think it'll become category 5?
I think it's fairly likely, but there we are. Cyclone Pam up to 140 miles per hour, 120 knots.
Mm.
Cyclone Nathan at 6 a.m. remains at 65 miles per hour. Cyclone Orwin, yes, that's a category 1 hurricane equivalent cyclone now.
Mhm. What about that storm that was on the east of South America? Cyclone Carrie.
Yeah, that one's pretty much no longer with us now. Pablo
Oh.
won't be very happy about that.
No, you need to update your website as well because it's still listed.
Well, I can't.
Oh.
I'm doing a live
Oh no,
update, you
it's not.
fool.
I don't mean now, I mean later.
Right. But Orwin,
Jeez.
there we are. Oh, right. Orwin is the latest storm to reach 75 mile an hour winds.
Mm.
And finally, Bavi at 6 a.m. remains at 40 miles per hour as well. Not looking so hot yet. That not yet to take off, I think.
Mm.
Here's the warning map for Cyclone Pam at this time. You can see most of the northern half of Vanuatu all the way down to Port Vila under warnings, cyclone warnings. The southern half under watches. The Loyalty Islands also under a cyclone alert as well.
Mhm. Has anyone got anything else to share?
The way you say that.
Pardon?
The way you say that.
Andrew's got something I can see.
Oh yes, so he has.
That was the website
Trying to
John
show
was
us
on
the Earth
yesterday.
map. There it is.
I tried to include a link to that on the comments yesterday, but it wouldn't let me post it.
Never mind.
I'll just post it to the Facebook page.
The Lime Snowball says hello. An Aussie, remembering Cyclone Yasi. Bianca, is that? Wasn't it Bianca? I don't know. Yasi and another one. So there are two Yasis about, all at the same time. No, certainly this spell is quite something now, isn't it? Right, I finished eating finally. Thank goodness.
Good.
But, yes, if you have a comment for us, then do let us know. We'll be staying on top of all the warnings for you. Let me just find out what the warnings are in the West Pacific right now. There will be some in effect, because there were before. So, Tropical Storm Barbie. Here we are. A tropical storm warning remains in effect for Ujjayi and Eniwetak in the Western Marshall Islands. (6 a.m. UTC). The centre of Barbie was near latitude 8 degrees north and 165.9 east. Tropical storm was moving west-northwest at 9 miles per hour and expected to turn towards the west-northwest and approach the Mariana Islands by Sunday or Monday. Could become a typhoon whilst it does that as well.
I can't think of anything to talk about.
Well, let's see if we can look at the Fiji webcam right now. Oh, night's already fallen there, so I don't think you can see much. We also have webcams in Vanuatu at this time. There's some images there, not looking too bad just yet as far as we can tell. Night has already fallen now, so I think we'll get a better idea tomorrow morning when light falls over Vanuatu again before we can actually see what's going on. But I don't think conditions there are too bad at this time. Actually, let's take a look at the well, these satellite images don't update anymore, so I have to find another one somewhere. Oh, I'm sure Jason can find that, or maybe even Jean. At the moment, we're looking at how the floating on Cyclone Carry, how that's progressed in the past few hours. It looks like it's not much left of it, by the looks of things.
Mm.
There's the water vapor imagery, lots of dry air to the left-hand side over Brazil. With some heavier showers towards the southeast. So over Brazil, not too much of an issue going on anymore, because it appears that most of the heavy rainfall has left the area. Temperature here at Force 13 HQ this morning is 8 degrees Celsius.
Mm.
And Jean is looking at the Mauritius page right now, all in French. That's the looks like the weather bulletin for Mauritius at this time.
Mm-hmm. Shame we can't translate that.
There's probably not much going on, to be quite honest. So
Yeah.
probably not missing much. Oh, here's an image of Pam's eye. How about that?
Oh.
So, a fairly wide eye and a very strong eye wall towards the northern part, at least at the moment. That's where those white areas are, almost at the end of the spectrum of colours. And of course you can see Vanuatu under some rainfall at the moment from the spiral bands. It's not a very fleshed out spiral band really, is it, when you look at it? All you've really got in the storm is that central core, the eye wall and all the areas around that at this time. But Vanuatu no doubt will be seeing some heavy rainfall occurring out of this. Even Fiji, northern parts of Fiji, there's some rainfall occurring just north of there. So we may be seeing some similar conditions occurring over there in the next few hours as well, associated with the storm, but not necessarily part of the storm. And that rainfall, I mean, very light rainfall already reaching the Loyalty Islands and New Caledonia as well, by the looks of things, or at least some cloudiness at the very least there. As the storm draws nearer, I do think that the Loyalty Islands may possibly see tropical storm force winds, depending, of course, on what the storm actually does over the next 2 to 3 days. Here's another image provided by Jason. Is that of... Yes, it is. That's of Pam, the floater imagery, on how that's progressed throughout the day. Night, of course, has just fallen, so the latest imagery is probably about half an hour old. So there it is, the eye becoming more well defined in the past few frames, as far as I can tell. Don't know whether it's stuttering on your screens as it is on mine. I can never trust my screen.
No, it's stuttering on mine as well.
Unfortunate. The last visible image wasn't so long ago. It was 6:14 AM, showing the storm and its proximity to some of the Vanuatu Islands, just on the edge of your screen there. But the eye wall's still well offshore, and hopefully that will remain the case for some time. Still could quite possibly become a Category 5 cyclone. It was forecasted, and the JTWC, the 3 AM update, they still say it will be a Category 5 at points 3 and 4. So that's these two here, the closest ones to Port Vila, which it could pass not so far away from, around, I find it difficult to gauge distances here, but maybe 50 miles or less as it heads towards the south and then southeast, and could possibly deliver storm force conditions to New Zealand as well if it continues on its track forecast with still 105 miles per hour at that last point just northeast of New Zealand.
How long do you suspect Pam will last for before it dissipates?
Well, we're looking at about 4 days at this point.
The longest ever hurricane was a month, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hurricane John, 31 days. As always, if you've got any questions to give to us, then we'll be more than happy to respond. The Lime Snowball says, yes, correction, Bianca in 2011. That's the one who was on about. I still don't get your previous comment. You remember Cyclone, Yasi, Bianca, Yasi, and another one. 2 Yasis. Who'd have thunk it? No, I understand. Yasi, of course, was a very bad storm that occurred in 2011, the early part of that year. Of course, it struck Queensland, not too far. Well, actually, wasn't it not too far from where Cyclone Marcia hit? I think. A bit further north or south? I don't even remember anymore. But yes, looking at Jean's image right now, you can see all 4 cyclones fairly nicely. On your left-hand side is Cyclone Olwyn, now a Category 1 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, Category 2 on the Australian scale. Nathan in the centre, the smaller system, over the coast of Queensland right now. Tropical storm, 65 mph winds. And it's a Australian scale Category 2. Ham on your right hand side, which of course is still a Category 4 but a stronger one, 140 mph is its new intensity. Tropical storm Bavi towards the north of your image as well, still weak, 40 mph, and is likely to gradually and slowly intensify over the next few days. Jason's also showing us some floater imagery now of Olwyn, which is not too far from making landfall along the coast of Australia, in the western part of the country right now. It'd be rather interesting to see whether it actually does make landfall on that bit that juts out, or whether it curves just that little bit further westward before it makes its landfall. It seems fairly likely that the landfall is going to happen now. A big surprise if it didn't. Since Daniel's mic has gone for the time being, Jason, would you like to comment or not?
Hopefully it'll get some rain from Olwyn, because Perth really does need the rain.
Right. And further north, it's a sparsely populated area, isn't it?
Yeah, particularly around Exmouth or around Geraldton.
Yeah, and quite often we've seen significant cyclones make landfall in this area, just like Olwyn, and haven't really caused much damage or human cost or anything of the sort, and that's probably because of that reason, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's Cyclone Olwyn. It is our 9th, I think, Category 1 hurricane of the 2015 around the world. Yes, number 9. We've seen 18 tropical storms and 6 major hurricanes with winds of 115 miles per hour or higher. I will update the homepage to make it say that, and also make it say Cyclone Pam 140 mile an hour winds as well. Daniel, hello.
Hello. I'm just posting something on the comment.
Okay, we can't hear you, by the way.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
I
indeed.
have my microphone up.
Yeah, I could tell
Yeah.
why I said it.
What do you want me to share? Share anything with you?
Well, if you've got anything to show us, that would be pretty nice.
Not really.
What's Jean looking at right now? Can we see his screen? I think we've lost it. I think he was looking at some sort of probably the weather bulletin for Mauritius still, but I could be wrong. So there's all the images on Cyclone Olwyn, the latest visible image showing pretty much what you've already seen. Sort of half an eye there, isn't it? And it's been a feature for some time actually, in the past 12 hours or so. It's been developing that eye feature, and what you could perhaps call its eye wall now is not too far from the coast of Australia, marked by the yellow outline, of course, and more rainfall towards the south associated with that storm already moving over land. But I think Jason's imagery is better for that. And John's showing us the Earth map now as well, showing. I think it gives you a different perspective on what these storms actually look like. Another different look, I suppose. Owen on your left-hand side. Nathan is the vortex in the centre, smallest one, I'd say. Followed by Pam on your right-hand side, which is the biggest and the boldest, as I said last night, the strongest, with that red area. I wonder if Sean could click in that red area and see what the wind speeds are according to the Earth map there. No, not in the eye, in the eye wall. Yes. 122 kilometers per hour, 70 miles an hour. Should be higher than that, won't it? We do know that the winds are up to 140 mile per hour sustained right now. As of 3 a.m. UTC, that advisory, the winds were gusting to 160 miles per hour. So I suppose you could assume that it's now gusting to 165 miles per hour at this time, and it could go on to be a Category 5 storm on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale as well as the Australian scale, and reach Category 5 intensity and with 160 mile per hour winds, gusting potentially to 195 as Jean gets a close-up there.
If you look at my screen at the moment, I've got it up on Google Maps in case anyone's interested.
That's the one that we were looking at earlier
Oh.
on Jean's screen as well. Yes, he stole your thunder.
Oh dear, oh well.
But there's a beautiful view of the eye provided by Jean's screen. It's I don't know about you guys at home, but it's mesmerizing. I don't watch all those lines move all day, even though they follow the same path.
Hypnotising.
I suppose it is. Spirals quite often can be hypnotising, can't they?
Yeah. I guess so.
I know so.
No.
I'm trying to find some alternate imagery to have a look at right now. This is a nice little image of Cyclone Pam. When was that from? That was from yesterday, though. But you can see how nice Palm was looking yesterday. I'm sure we have a visible image from today as well. I'll try and get it up at some point. But what do you think Pam is going to do, Daniel?
I think it'll intensify into a Category 5, or not, and then
I
it'll.
think it will do it.
Yeah, and then it'll dissipate.
Okay, very good. Now, what was I going to look up next? Oh dear. Oh yes, I remember now. Jason's just out of action just for a moment whilst he loads something up, I think. So I'm just loading up on my own screen now. The NASA satellite imagery, and take a look at what's been going on in the past day on March the 12th, the satellite imagery here. So you can see this Cyclone Pam, that was a few hours ago now then. A nice image there. That's where I get the images from to use for the thumbnails for all the videos. And there's the islands of Vanuatu. The storm is headed for there. Cyclone Nathan and Cyclone Orwin. And that picture, by the looks of things, wasn't taken so long ago at all, with the outer bands of the storm already affecting Western Australia, already infiltrating as far south as that area. I don't even know what area it's called. I'm sure Jason will be able to help us with the Australian geography, though. At least I'm counting on him anyway.
We've got a message from the Lime Snowball.
Yes, once more.
saying, I think I see a cyclone just up north of Pam. That's Olin, isn't it? Or am I mistaken?
I return.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, the Lime Snowball says he thinks he sees a cyclone just up north from Pam.
Yes, there is, of course. That's Tropical Storm Bavi in the Western
Oh.
Pacific.
I said it was all winds.
Waniel,
Sorry.
Waniel, we'll never get you learned. What planet are you on?
I don't know.
Right. There's still the remnants of Cyclone Halibre you can just about see as well, believe it or not. If we look at yesterday's imagery, you'll also be able to see Cyclone Thingy, Cyclone Carry. That was at its height of what it was yesterday, but that's pretty much no longer with us now. But there we are.
Can anybody see my webcam?
No, we cannot.
It's strange. I've just turned it back on and it's not appeared. Strange.
I see.
Might be for the better though.
I think we'll get some Australian radar up now, so we can see what's going on. It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Mm.
In the
I loaded
meantime-
up some radar as well.
Oh, have you? There we are. Great minds think alike and
Just a
all
sec.
that. I'm in the wrong place there. Where are we going? Oh, that's inland. I'm hopeless at navigating these these maps. You get lost so easy. Where are we? Wyndham. We need to be
Right.
going west. Oh, oh dear. That's Broome.
Use the
There's Port
which one
Hedland.
is it?
Oh yes.
Try the Exmouth one,
Here's Exmouth. There we are.
the Lemon.
And Learmonth. We zoom out a little bit. We can see what's going on with Olwyn. There we are. That's a good view of it. And I'm guessing that bit at the top there is perhaps its innermost eye wall, or maybe not. I'm not sure.
You can show the weather observations for it as well.
What was that?
The weather observations in the map feature.
Oh, oh yes. Yes, I see it. Oh, that's quite nice. So that's in Celsius, isn't it? So, oh, is it?
Should be able to hover over the numbers. It'll give out some information on the right. There we go.
Right, yes. No, that's the temperature and the wind, isn't it? 91 kilometers per hour gust, I'm guessing. 27 degrees. That's on Barrow Island. I'm guessing that's wind speed in the blue. Don't know whether it's wind gust or not. Oh, I thought it would. Oh, I see. There it is. It's on the right-hand side. Wind speed, of course, is in kilometers per hour. So 91 kilometers per hour. Oh, the green is the rain. Now we're getting there. 91 kilometers per hour on Barrow Island. So what's that in miles per hour? That's probably around 60, getting towards 55 to 60 miles per hour on Barrow Island at this time. So already tropical storm intensity quite easily. Getting towards hurricane intensity, which we may well see on Barrow Island in the next few hours. If not, we'll probably see it in Exmouth, or indeed at Learmonth Airport, at that observation station there.
I've got nothing to. I haven't really got anything to share because you've covered it
Okay.
all already.
Fine.
I just don't want to be useless.
Oh, such a shame.
Should we play
plight-
Guess the Storm?
The plight of Waniel. Let's try Cairns radar to see what we can see of Cyclone Nathan right now.
Will we be playing Guess the Storm this morning or not?
No, not enough time.
Uh,
111 millimeters of rain have occurred at Cooktown Airport since 9 AM. Is that a lot for that area? I'm guessing so. I mean, it just seemed like an anomaly compared to all the other numbers out there. There's another radar image from Wayper. Not as accurate by the looks of things, but current conditions, not too high wind speeds going on anywhere. You see at Lockhart River, that's at the very edge of the warning zone. Wind speeds of 22 kilometers per hour occurring there at this time. But I don't think we can get the part in between. We zoom out further. Yeah, there aren't any observation stations in between there. apart from Cohen as well, where wind speed is 17 kilometers per hour. So looks like Nathan is not doing much at the moment.
No. You're disappointed in yourself.
I am very disappointed in myself. I'm not sure whether we could see Jason's imagery there or not. It was another radar image view. But yes, we're already seeing rainfall as far south, at least as far south as those areas. Where are we? Almost towards Cape Cuvier at this time. The cloud cover extending further south than that. The cloud cover, I believe, has already reached that observation station there at Shark Bay Airport. Wind speeds there 22 kilometers per hour. That's as bad as Cyclone Nathan already, and it's miles away. Over 400 kilometers, 500 at least. But yes, wind speeds 91 kilometers per hour near the centre of the storm on Barrow Island, the closest observation area at this time. I wonder also, here's a job for you, Annual. Wonder whether you could get any webcams up from near the landfall areas.
Yeah, of Nathan and Pam.
I think Alwyn is the best place to look at
Yeah.
the moment. I've already looked up some webcams from Vanuatu, but there's no point because it's already night time there. Is it still daylight in Australia, Jason?
It's in the evening right now.
So we're sort of losing it, but maybe we'll still be able to see something. When you're on the case.
Yeah.
Oh, what was on your... Oh, I thought something was on your screen then, Jason, but never mind. Looking at John's screen, yes, there's the whole world presented to you, so you can see everything that's going on right now. Several extratropical systems out there as well, particularly in the southern hemisphere, but there's also what appears to be a potent low-pressure system just off the coast of Newfoundland, and another one headed for us by the looks of things, south of Iceland. Might bend towards the north.
I can't seem to find any webcam footage of Alwyn.
Oh, I'm sure it exists.
Yeah, somewhere. I just can't find it.
I'll find it then.
Okay then, I'll just stay here being useless.
So first of all, let me remind you what the current situation is at 8:07 AM here in the UK. I make that. What is that? Is it? What time are we on now? In Western Australia, is it 4:08 now, or 5? Oh dear, time zones. What can you do? But it's getting later there anyway. Night, of course, has already fallen in Vanuatu at this time, but the current situation with the storms is that Cyclone Carrie in the South Atlantic is pretty much no longer with us. Cyclone Alwyn is now a Category 1 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, a Category 2 storm on the Australian scale with winds of 75 miles per hour likely to make landfall in Western Australia in the next 12 hours already. 60 mile per hour winds reported in Barrow nearly. Cyclone Nathan along the eastern coast of Queensland, now with winds of 65 miles per hour still, remaining the same. Cyclone Pam, now with winds of 140 miles per hour, it's intensified as it moves towards the south, likely to affect Vanuatu as a significant cyclone, possibly a Category 5, and cyclone or tropical storm Bavy in the western Pacific. That's formed not too far from the Marshall Islands, and it has wind speeds of 40 miles per hour at this time. So that's a quick recap of all our tropical storm activity. 18 tropical storms have formed so far in 2015 around the world. 9 of them now have become Category 1 hurricanes, and 6 have become Category 3 storms with winds of 115 miles per hour or higher. What was that?
No Category 5s yet though.
Don't be silly, there's been 2.
Marcia was one way. Oh, am I mistaken?
No, Marcia was a Category 4. It was category
Oh.
5 on the Australian scale, though. That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
people get a bit confused. If you
Hmm.
went by the Australian scale, we'd have probably had about 4 or 5 by now.
Oh, yeah. They don't use the Saffir-Simpson, do they?
No, I'm not sure how that actually came about.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't read up on the history too much. Now, what is this? Why are there only 2 webcams in the whole of Australia? That can't be right.
Hmm.
Oh, there's more now. None in Western Australia, though, which is unfortunate. All I can find at the moment in webcam terms is this nice little image from Broome, showing it in real time the water, looking fairly calm actually. And Broome is further up the coast towards the north, isn't it, Jason?
Yeah, it's near like a peninsula.
Yeah, and those clouds in the distance, you can just about see them almost on the horizon. Do you reckon those may be associated with the cyclone or not?
Uh,
Depends which way we're
Let me
facing,
see.
but I'm guessing it's towards the
No,
west.
it's not related to the storm because Broome is too far from it.
Oh, damn it. Thought we had something then. Never mind.
No.
Nearly
But
fell
yes,
asleep then.
Daniel, be professional
I
now.
nearly fell asleep watching that that relaxing video of the.
It was
sea.
relaxing.
Yeah.
Wish you were there. Wish you weren't in Exmouth though, where we're getting heavy rainfall occurring at the moment. Not unless you're a storm chaser, anyway.
Hmm.
Also occurring in Learmonth right now, rainfall nearly there. The rain since 9 a.m. Currently at 0 at Learmonth, but that will change very quickly. 4 millimeters reported so far in Onslow. And what was it on Barrow Island? The amount of rainfall? Sorry, 57.2, and there's a new wind speed that's been set there, 94 kilometers per hour, so a little bit higher as the storm continues to make its closest approach to Barrow Island. It won't be a landfall, it will move towards the west, I should expect, but that's where we are so far.
Of all the hurricanes that have appeared this year, have any spawned any tornadoes or anything? Do you know?
I'm not sure, actually.
No, I don't think they have they?
Well, quite often they do, that sometimes they don't get reported, I'd imagine.
Hmm. Might have been a few out at sea or something. Water spouts.
Yes, quite often we get some of those as well.
Mm.
Couldn't actually tell you at this point whether we've seen any tornadoes from these hurricanes or not, but I've never seen it reported, as in, never seen it cause any damage.
Yeah.
So there we are. Yes, 57 millimeters of rain reported on Barrow Island since 9 a.m. Peak wind speeds of Cyclone Orwin, 75 miles per hour. 120 kilometers per hour, likely to increase before landfall, could reach 85 miles per hour, or around, what would that be, about 140 kilometers per hour, something like that, as it makes landfall in Australia and then moves inland and to the south towards Perth, where Jason will welcome it with open arms. Welcome home, Olwen.
I hope not. He'll get blown away.
No, he won't. It'll be a significantly weaker by then.
Oh yeah, just remnants of it.
Almost remnants.
Uh,
But yeah, when a storm weakens to a tropical depression, then rainfall becomes the biggest threat, if there are any threats at all.
yeah.
There's a view from Waper once more, showing the eastern side of Australia where Cyclone Nathan is. So you can't see it. It's sort of out of the radar range. They should plop a radar station near Cape Melville up by the looks of things.
Hmm.
Probably help.
Does that say Lizard is Cape? Oh no, it's Lizard Island, isn't it?
Lizard Island.
Yeah.
That's off the coast of Queensland. That is still under the warning area as well. Let me reiterate what the warnings are right now. On the western coast, we have cyclone warnings in effect for Wim Creek to Overlander and a watch zone from Overlander to Jurien Bay. That includes all the inland areas, including Nanatura, Panawanica, Gascoigne Junction, Overlander Roadhouse, looks to be inland slightly, Murchison Roadhouse, and Malawa. On the eastern coast, tropical storm warnings in effect, or cyclone warnings in effect, from in the north Lockhart River, covering Cowan, Cape Melville, Lizard Island as well, I should imagine, Cape Flattery, Cooktown, Cape Tribulation, extending downwards to Port Douglas. The storm not too far from the shore, but it is going to begin to turn away now, and we'll probably see some more intensification of Cyclone Nathan over the next few hours, or, well, maybe not hours, but in the next 24 to 48 hours. Cyclone Pam as well, let me remind you, now with winds of 140 miles per hour, moving south. Vanuatu under warning areas. The Santa Cruz Islands are now out of the warning zone. Port Vila could possibly see strong storm conditions, though the track forecast has shifted a little bit away from Port Vila in the past few updates, so that can only be good news. And the southernmost islands, same too, in the alert zone. Also, the Loyalty Islands of New Caledonia under the alert zone too. And the other warning as well, the West Pacific, which annoyingly I don't have loaded right now. I'll get it loaded.
I could load it.
I've loaded it. Another use that we can't use for Daniel. For Cyclone, Tropical Storm Barbie, tropical storm warnings remaining in effect for Ujjayi and Enewetak in the Western Marshall Islands. Pardon me if my pronunciation isn't quite right.
Maybe we could get you pronunciation lessons.
Right. Oh, there's another show on Jason's screen right now showing all the more warnings in effect. Blue alert. Now, what's a blue alert?
They have several alerts, like yellow alert and then blue alert. The blue alert is basically like preparing that cyclone's gonna like get close to land. So everyone needs to be like prepared before it gets close to land.
Okay, that would make sense. Yes, I can actually see it on the Bureau of Meteorology site as well. I'm sure it's the same amount of the same information. Yellow alert in effect for people in or near coastal communities from Mardi to Cape Cuvier. This includes people in the locations of Onslow, Exmouth, Nanatura, and Coral Bay. People need to take action and get ready to shelter from a cyclone. Blue alert for people in or near coastal communities between Wim Creek and Mardi, including ports. I'm guessing that's port. It says PT on here. Samson, Wickham, Roebourne, Caratha, Dampier, and Panawanica. This includes those locations pretty much. It's just repeated itself. Cape Cuvier and Carnarvon as well. It does not include Gascoigne Junction. People need to prepare for cyclonic weather and organise an emergency kit, including first aid kit, torch, portable radio, spare batteries, food, and water. As the storm moves ashore, it could be a fairly strong one. We're anticipating a Category 3 landfall, very close to Exmouth by the looks of things.
No fatalities yet, or injuries.
Well, we don't know until after the storm makes landfall, really.
I guess so.
Jean, I believe, is ready to leave now, so thanks very much for joining us, Jean, from Mauritius. Hope the weather's taking a turn for the better. It looks like it is. It looks like it's a bright day behind you. So, as always, thank you very much for taking part, and we'll see you again soon.
Goodbye. Goodbye, John.
Goodbye, Jean. So I'm sure the same sort of alerts are in effect for Cyclone Nathan as well. Maybe not. People between Lockhart River and Port Douglas should immediately commence or continue preparations, especially securing boats and property. But I think the worst of the storm is probably occurring right now, and will be over before too long, let's hope. But looking at the satellite image, I'm guessing the main threat really is from rainfall with this storm. I mean, we know wind speeds are 65 miles per hour, which is around, what's that, 105, 110 kilometers per hour. And you can see on this latest satellite image, the yellow areas even extending overland in the far north of Queensland, and lots of rainfall elsewhere as well. And as we saw on the observations on the radar imagery, where's that gone now? We've lost it. There we are. 111 millimeters of rain fell in Cooktown Airport since 9 a.m. And do we know, Jason, whether this updates automatically?
This one's for 3:59, which means it's about 22 minutes ago.
Hmm. Yeah, they say 4 p.m., don't they? With winds in Learmonth at the moment, 35 kilometers per hour. So getting up a little bit there as well, and also in Onslow, where the wind speed is now 69 kilometers per hour as well. Why do you what?
Nothing. Just laughing at something funny.
I know what you're laughing at.
What?
I think.
No, you have to type it.
Right. No, I can't. I'm busy. I'm
No.
doing the show. We'll be off the air in 8 minutes' time, though. Everyone will be pleased to know. Oh, it's just refreshed automatically. How about that? Still showing nothing new, though. In particular, probably a new radar frame that's come in there of Cyclone Allwyn as it moves ashore, or begins to move ashore. Of course, the rainfall already beginning to occur in Exmouth. It's had its first band roll through now, and it's arriving in Learmonth as well. And the next stop will be those other places on the map there: Ningaloo, Ballara, Coral Bay, Warroa, Ginaralu. Weird place names. I'm sorry, Jason. Weird place names.
I think they're quite interesting.
Right. There's some weird place names here as well, like Cockermouth and Giggleswick.
So here's the information for Barrow Island.
Barrow Island.
This is, yeah.
Okay, there we are.
Let's
The
see if I
latest
can-
is at the top, I'm guessing.
Let me.
Up to around 3 hours ago, by the looks of things. Where the pressure had gone down to 998 millibars, and the rain was 37.4. It's now 57.2. It doesn't actually say air pressure, does it? On the current observations. 26 degrees Celsius, or 27 degrees Celsius, still warm, as you'd expect, of course. The wind speed is at the moment 94 kilometers per hour. You can see the gusts on Jason's map here. There's a gust of 95, two of them actually, at 9:58 and at 10 a.m. It might have been the same one. So that's the highest, at least up until 1:30 p.m. I'm sure there's higher gusts occurring there at the moment. Is that the latest information?
Yeah, not yet. I'm trying to get the latest one. Just hold on a sec.
Yeah, it says it updates every 10 minutes, so I'm sure there will be some later information on there.
Here we go.
Oh. So I look away, he's got the new information. So yes, much higher wind gusts, looking at wind gusts of 115 kilometers per hour now. That's almost as high as the sustained winds inside the storm. So very nearly 75 miles per hour occurring in gusts, at least, on Barrow Island. The air pressure at 3 p.m. was 995.9, and of course rainfall 57.2 since 9 a.m. So that's that. Well, we're going to be finishing up in 5 minutes, so before we do, let's run through all the current storms once more. First of all, I need to actually find up-to-date imagery of all the storms currently active. So, first of all, we have Cyclone Pam. Cyclone Pam is a very strong storm, 140 miles per hour, which is... what is it in kilometers per hour? Can't think of the conversions anymore. Probably over 200, I imagine. And it's headed for Vanuatu, heading towards the south, and could affect Port Vila, maybe even as a Category 5 storm, let's hope not. But that's the current situation with that. That's intensified slightly in the past few hours from 130 miles per hour up to now 140. And just thinking about it, I think that's probably around 230 kilometers per hour. We also have Cyclone Nathan. That's over the coast of Australia right now, which we saw earlier. That's 65 miles per hour, which is around 110 or 105 kilometers per hour at this time, over the eastern coast of Australia, delivering lots of rainfall, 111 millimeters in one location in Cooktown from the storm, probably more in some other locations that don't have the observation stations closer to the center of the storm. Cyclone Olwyn. You can see the eye coming out in that frame there, and a small but intense wall in front of it of heavy thunderstorms, I should imagine, and rainfall occurring over Exmouth already at this point, and as we saw, winds gusting to 115 kilometers per hour at this time. And we have Cyclone Tropical Storm Bavi in the Western Pacific, struggling to get itself together at the moment, but it is a tropical storm with winds of 40 miles per hour, named by the Japanese Meteorological Agency yesterday, and it's likely to move towards the west-northwest, affecting maybe Micronesia, but it looks like it's going to be one for the Mariana Islands, such as Guam and the islands north of that. So those are all the storms active at this time. Carrie is pretty much no longer with us, I'm afraid. A subtropical storm that formed in the South Atlantic, the second one of the year, believe it or not. I think that is a history maker, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm not sure.
So who knows what we'll see in future in the South Atlantic. All we need now is a Medicane.
A Medicane.
We had one last year,
Mediterranean.
actually.
What's
Yeah.
a Medicane?
Oh, you just said Waniel, come on.
A what?
A Mediterranean storm,
Oh,
a
yeah,
hurricane.
I didn't know you could get them in the Mediterranean.
Well, they're not strictly speaking hurricanes, are they? Or are they?
No, I wouldn't imagine they'd be.
I mean, sea surface temperatures aren't warm enough usually.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, we need one this year
Yeah.
to complete the set, and then get a storm absolutely everywhere.
Mm.
All we need now is a storm in the southeastern Pacific
Mm.
that hits Chile. No, not really. We want it to stay harmlessly offshore.
Yeah, I didn't know one could form near Chile.
No, they can't.
Yeah, it's a bit too chilly for them.
Oh, for goodness sake, Wang.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
couldn't resist.
Yeah, I knew you couldn't. But yes, just to reiterate before we go off air, the warnings in effect from Cyclone Olwyn. Warning zone extends from Wim Creek to Overlander. Watch zone from Overlander to Jurien Bay. Also, in relation to Cyclone Nathan, warnings extending from Lockhart River to Port Douglas. We'll be back in another live update. I don't know whether we'll all be here, but I will at least. Another live update.
I'll try.
Yeah, we'll all try. Live update occurring at 9 p.m. UTC this evening, where we'll discuss all that's going on with the storms. If I'm right in saying, will Olwyn be making landfall at that point? Or will we have missed it? We might have missed it a bit, actually. But in the meantime, we will be having updates throughout the day as well to let you know what's going on our social mediums. Search Force 13 on Facebook and Twitter to find out all our latest updates, warning maps whenever they're ready. And we'll also be doing video updates throughout the afternoon as well, starting at 2 p.m. UTC through till 4. We'll be doing updates on all the storms that are active. But until then, I have other commitments, so I won't be here. And I don't think Daniel will be here either.
I'll probably be back in bed.
Oh, yeah.
Or something else. I don't know.
I thought you were at college this week.
No, I'm not in college this week.
Right.
I get the whole week off.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wish I could. Just to, but yes, I think we've covered everything. So, as I say, we'll be back with more information throughout the day on our social pages and the videos on our YouTube pages coming up later on, with another live update occurring at 9 o'clock this evening UTC. That's early in the morning in Australia and in the South Pacific. What time is that? About 6 a.m. I think. In parts of Australia, and a little bit later in Vanuatu. That's all from us, and we'll see you again soon. So have a good evening and stay safe out there.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome.